Welcome to the Dugout. I'm your host, Joseph Silva. On today's episode, we wonder if the snakes are still in fact alive. Aaron Judge has done it again, and we say goodbye to a lot of great people, and we lost a legend in the game. But before we get started, go ahead and leave a like if you're enjoying the content. Subscribe to Playbook Sports. The dog days of August are over when the playoff push is starting to heat up, and I, for one, would not want to miss out on an episode of this show. Now, we begin this with the Diamondbacks and Rays series from last weekend, and the Snakes were not alive. They got swept convincingly. In Game 1, the Rays won a squeaker 5-4 over the Diamondbacks. Ryan Pepiot went 5 1/3, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, none of them earned, a walk, 5 strikeouts. He wasn't as good as expected after being acquired in the Tyler Glasnow trade, but still great stuff from him overall, especially in this start. Peter Fairbanks, though, he blew his first and not only save of this series, as he went an inning, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned, and a strikeout. Just not great from the Tampa Bay closer. But Dylan Carlson, he's been great. 2 for 4, a home run, 2 RBIs. Josh Lau, 2 for 4, a double, 2 RBIs. And, of course, the Rays just love their Laus. Nathaniel Lau was also a Ray, but Brandon Lau had the walk-off single to win it for the Rays in the ninth. Just a great showing from them offensively. The Diamondbacks, Ryan Nelson had a great start, surprisingly, because he wasn't facing the Dodgers, and he's been ass when he's not facing the Dodgers. He went 6 1/3, 5 hits, an earned run, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Lourdes Gurriel is part of that insurgent Snakes lineup, as he was 2 for 3 with a walk and RBI. But Corbin Carroll came through in a big way. It's been a down year for him. He's regressed harder than Dogecoin this year, but he had that game-time 2-run home run off Fairbanks in the ninth, ultimately in vain, but nice to see him start to get things going. Now in Game 2, the Rays ran away with it. They won that one 6-1. Jeffrey Springs had a good start. He went 5 innings, pitched 4 hits, an earned run, a walk, 7 strikeouts. Yandy Diaz is getting back to that Yandy Diaz that was chasing a triple crown in the first half of last year, as he was 3 for 5 with a double, 2 runs driven in. And Brandon Lau, he did it to him again. He was 2 for 4, a walk, 2 runs scored, a double, a home run, 2 RBIs. Fantastic game for him, fantastic series for him. Nice to see him start to get back to that top 50 player form. And for the Diamondbacks, my Cy Young winner from last year, but one of the finalists, Zach Gallen, he only went 5 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. It's been a rough year for him all around. You can see the toll that postseason run's taken on him. He's not been as sharp. The velocity's been slightly down. Just a brutal year from Zach Gallen. You hate to see it. Kevin Newman was the star for the Diamondbacks offensively, but saying he was the star was really stretching it a little bit, as he was only 2 for 4. Just a bad game offensively for Arizona. And in Game 3, they tried their damnedest to win it, but the Rays pulled through 8-7 and 12. The opener, Drew Rasmussen, went 2 innings pitched, gave up no hits, no earned, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Great start from him. He paved the way for Tyler Alexander, who went 5 2/3 with 5 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Good, solid start for him, let's say, because he did have the opener in front of him, but eating the bulk of the innings, you'll take that every single time. And as I alluded to earlier, Peter Fairbanks blew it again, as he couldn't even go a full inning. He went 2/3 of an inning with a hit, 3 earned runs, a walk. Just absolutely abysmal stuff from Fairbanks. Just tough for him. And because, of course, whose series this has been? Brandon Lau's series. He did it once again. 2 for 4 with a walk, a home run. It just absolutely beautiful stuff from him. And, of course, the newly acquired Dylan Carlson may be the new Randy Arozarena, Cardinals outfielder, who tears it up, because he was 2 for 4 in a pinch hit role. Oh, yeah, and he hit the walk-off 2-run single, too. Fantastic series for him. Merrill Kelly just was not the sharpest, was not the best. He still gave him 5 innings, though. 8 hits, 6 earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. A brutal start from him. Corbin Carroll, again, we've been saying this since in June, in May. Is this the turnaround? Is this the turnaround? This might be the turnaround. He was 2 for 5 with a home run, 3 runs scored, 2 driven in. And Adrian Dale Castillo continues to show why he's been a great call-up since being called up earlier this month. He was 1 for 5 with a 3-run home run. But overall, this Rays team, they've not been the Rays team they were in the past. This is probably the worst Tampa Bay team since 2018. but they're still a tough team to play, and they showed it why right here. They're not going to make a wild card spot, but they're going to use their bullpen effectively. They're going to find guys, and they're going to play matchup ball all day long, and it worked effectively here as they fought off a very tough Diamondbacks team. And for the Diamondbacks, are the Snakes alive? Yeah, Snakes alive, because they are still red hot. They just swept Miami after this. But, losing a series like this where you have a lot of opportunities to hold it down is rough to see. Paul Sewald, it is not Paul Sewald time. He's been blowing saves left and right. Kevin Ginkel's been okay. The pitching staff has regressed mightily, but the offense is absolutely humming along at a beautiful, impressive rate. The Snakes are very much alive. Don't let this one series fool you. They're the hottest team since the All-Star break and shown it why here. In our second series, we're talking about a clash of titans in the American League as the team with the best record and the team with the second best record in the AL squared off at Yankee Stadium as the Yankees take on the Guardians. In the first game, the Guardians won an absolute thriller, 9-5 in 12. For the Yankees, Luis Gil just been struggling. He looks gassed out there. There's no way to put it politely. He only went 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned, walked 6 guys, 3 strikeouts, 78 pitches in 3 innings. That is absolutely brutal to see. Bad pitch efficiency, bad command. Just give him a Phantom IL stint or something, man. He needs to get it going. But Aaron Judge, I feel like the mom on the Brady Bunch, Marsha, talking about Aaron Judge, but he's just remarkable, man. In this series, 2 for 5, a double, a home run, 3 driven in. Oh yeah, and then he got intentionally walked 2. Just, what can you say about him, man? He's on fire. Anthony Volpe, the most polarizing player in baseball, was 2 for 4 with an intentional walk, an RBI, 2 stolen bases. Anthony Volpe is a weird litmus test, I want to say, for baseball fans of how you view the position. I don't think he's as good as Yankees fans are saying, and he's not as bad as the haters are saying. He's right in the middle, and this is kind of what you expect from Volpe at this point. But for the Guardians, Matthew Boyd went 5 1/3 with 4 hits, 3 earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Not the best stuff from him. The Cleveland pitching lab did not help him out that much, but still solid length from him. David Fry off the bench was 1 for 4 with a walk, scored 3 with a triple, the dagger triple in the 12th, I should say, and it's just beautiful from him. Stephen Kwan 0 for 4 with 3 walks. Why do I highlight this? Because his walk rate has fallen this year significantly. He was 9.7% in both his first 2 seasons. It's down to 8.2%. He's trading it for more contact, but I'll take walks over singles any day because walks age better and are more repeatable than singles. So it's nice to see he's starting to get that patient approach back. And if he combines it with that high contact rate, you have an absolute on-base machine at the top of your lineup. But in Game 2, the Yankees fired right back, smacked the Cleveland in the face, and did not look back. Nestor Cortez dominated through 7 innings. He only gave up 3 hits, no earned, no walks, 4 strikeouts. And then Juan Soto came through in a big way. He was 2 for 3 with a walk, a double, his career high 36th home run, drove in 5. This man is going to get paid $500 million this offseason if he's producing like this. Him and Judge are perfect together in this lineup. Best 1-2 in baseball. Speaking of Aaron Judge, by the way, he was 2 for 3, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, on pace for 60 homers now after this incredible start to the week. But of course, they were over the middle, so does it really count? They weren't clutch home runs, so does it really count? We'll just have to wait and see. For the Guardians, Joey Cantillo went 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 7 earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Bad for him. He was in AAA facing guys not even I know have to come up face Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. Definitely a confidence killer for him. Lane Thomas 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Again, why am I highlighting a bunch of 0 for guys? Well, Quan, it was more about the walk rates, if it's going to be improving going into October and September. For Lane Thomas, since being acquired by Cleveland, he has a 17 OPS plus. That is pre-DFA Jose Abreu territory. That's sub-Javier. That's Javier Baez does not hit the lows that this man has hit. And Cleveland, just a brutal acquisition for someone who is supposed to help contribute. Overall, much like hitters facing Emmanuel Clase, it was a swing and a miss. And Christmas came early as Big Christmas himself, Yoneski Noel, was 2 for 3 with a home run. The lone bright spot offensively for Cleveland in this series, or in this game, but still was not enough to get past the big two-headed monster the Yankees have. Now, Game 3 is being played tonight, but we'll just go ahead and say it. It's really hard to say who's going to come out on top and how this series ultimately bodes well, as the Yankees held them close in Game 1, but absolutely got shelled in that 12th inning. Judge hit a double to kind of make it close, but it was ultimately in vain. And then Game 2, absolutely blew the doors off the rookie. But you really can't say anything about it because Clay Holmes, a lot of the big arms did not pitch for Cleveland or for the Yankees. You have not seen Emmanuel Clase in this series. Really hard to judge this overall. Game 3 is going to tell us a lot. Overall, very evenly matched series, which is what you expected going in. And now for last week's series of the week, Padres-Twins. It was a close one, closer than the overall series would make you think. But in Game 1, Padres beat the Twins 5-3 in a little bit of a squeaker. Michael King went 6 innings pitched with 4 hits, 2 earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. The big three of the bullpen, Adams, Suarez, and Scott, they went 3 innings pitched, gave up a hit, an earned run, a walk, 3 strikeouts. The earned run was given up by the closer at this point, Robert Suarez. Jackson Merrill was 1 for 4, but he did have a big 3-run double in this one to kind of put the Padres ahead for good. And Xander Bogaerts was 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. Nice to see him finally turn things around. He's been turned around for a long time now. Great for him overall. Zebby Matthews for the Twins just was not great as he went 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 runs, only 2 earned, 2 walks, 1 strikeouts. Not the best stuff for him overall. Just could not get through this Padres lineup. And Christian Vasquez, I had to pick someone from the Twins. It was a group effort. A lot of guys had 1 hit, 1 RBI. So I'm just picking Christian Vasquez, who was the only Twin with multiple hits. He was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Nice to see him, filling well at the catcher position for Jeffers, who I just do not like defensively, but is a fantastic bat. In Game 2, Padres just refused to die. They won this one 7-5. Martin Perez has continued to look okay at best, as he went 4 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 earned, a walk, 2 strikeouts. Tanner Scott did not look good in his relief appearance, though. Perhaps that's why you don't give up 2 of your top 5 prospects for a closer, a rental at that, as he was hit for 2 runs in his lone inning of work, 4 hits. Jake Cronenworth turning things around nicely since the All-Star break. He was 2 for 4 with a double, 2 runs scored. But Manny Machado had the game-tying home run in the 7th, and the resurgent Jurickson Profar had the go-ahead home run in the 8th to put the Padres up for good. Bailey Ober did all he could to hold this Padres lineup in check, as he went 6 innings with 4 hits, 3 earned, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Did give up the game-tying home run to Machado before getting pulled. Ryan Jeffers looked good, just as I was saying, very great offensive catcher, 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 driven in. And Carlos Santana, no, not the guitarist, he was 2 for 4 with a double, 2 runs scored. Continues to just perhaps be the most underrated player of this generation, as you don't think of him a lot, but he produces solid year after year. And then for the finale, the Twins hit back like Mike Tyson himself, as they won this one 11-4. Matt Waldron was unfortunately the victim of this bullying, as he went 4 1/3, gave up 12 hits, 10 earned runs, a walk, 3 strikeouts. Just absolutely hit around in this one. Jackson Merrill, though, did contribute. He was 2 for 4, a home run, 2 RBIs. And for the Twins, Simeon Woods Richardson was fine. He went 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Able to hold this very powerful Padres lineup in check. Royce Lewis was 1 for 4 with 2 driven in. Not a great series from the player I told you to watch in this last one. That's on me. And Edouard Julien has had a rough follow-up to a solid rookie year, but in this game really did show why that rookie season had a lot of promise, as he was 4 for 5, scored 3 runs. Overall, the Padres, they're like Thanos. They are inevitable at this point. They will beat you in any kind of way imaginable. And it's really tough to see because I hate this Padres team with every fiber of my being. But they are a good team, especially after this All-Star break. Especially the thing I'm going to say is Game 2 really shows who they are. They were down, tied it immediately in the 7th. Then again, they were down, and went ahead and hit the go-ahead home run in the 8th inning. But the Twins, they're not a World Series contender by any means. They're a solid playoff team, but they're sneaky. They can make noise if you catch them on a good day or you underestimate them, because they did play the Padres close for a lot of this series. They did have a lead for a majority of that second game. Just the bullpen could not hold it down. So you're really looking at maybe deploying Johan Duran in a different way, Griffin Yax in a different way. Just something to kind of fix that back end of or the bridge to the back end of the bullpen, I should say. Offense is great, and this was done without Byron Buxton or Carlos Correa. Overall, the Twins are good, not great. Padres are great. Just about what I expected from this series. Now, Rob Manfred is trying to single-handedly kill this sport, and I hate it. As last week it came out that MLB is looking at a 6 innings minimum for starters. Now, there are exceptions, of course. 100 pitches being thrown, except 4 more runs given up. An injury with a required IL stint afterwards. But it just doesn't make sense. There is a rash of arm injuries. I could spend all day talking about how many great pitchers are on the IL. How the fact that people think Paul Skeens might be heading to the IL, or should at the very least be shut down because he's throwing a lot fewer pitches, 100 miles an hour, than when he first came up. Tyler Glasnow, as we're going to get to later, has hit the IL twice this year, and he's taken on a career-high workload. But they don't care, really. They just want the most accessible product. And really, they should be focused on teaching the intricacies of the game to people, really have them understand it in such a way. Now, we're just going to have to go and use a couple examples of why this is a bad idea. Clayton Kershaw has come back from shoulder surgery, and in his first few starts, his pitch count was 72, 83, 81, 83, 70. Now, he's starting, after that second start where he got blown up in San Diego, he's starting to build up more, starting to go deeper into games. Because pitching is, as we all know, a very violent thing to do to your body. We were not designed to throw a baseball. We were especially not designed to throw a baseball 90 miles an hour. And we sure as hell are not designed to throw a baseball 95 to 100 miles an hour. So when you come back from injury, you have to slowly build up, be able to handle that kind of workload. And if you're forcing Kershaw to throw 100 pitches or get into the 6th inning, it's not going to do a lot to help him come back from injury and stay healthy. And you see the same thing with Justin Verlander in 2022, coming back from Tommy John, 80 pitches, 87 pitches, 85 pitches, 91, before finally hitting 101 in his 5th start back. And, after that, he began to throw more pitches consistently, hit 90s, and all but 2 starts after that consistently went into the 6th inning because he was built up properly. Now, do I think pitchers need to pitch deeper in the games? Yes. Is that the key to winning a World Series? And my belief, yes, is you have to have your pitcher go 6 at least and then hand it off to your strong bullpen. But I'm not going to force a pitcher who is gassed to throw 6 innings. I'm not going to force a pitcher who is coming back from Tommy John surgery or shoulder surgery to throw 6 innings pitched. It's not how this should work, and Manfred just doesn't understand it. Now, we have a little bit of an injury update here because a lot of stars went down in this past week. For the Dodgers, they had 2 big ones. Tyler Glasnow has hit the IL with right elbow tendonitis. They say there's no structural damage. However, he has not begun to play catch since, and he does not look to return after the 15 days as initially promised by Dave Roberts. At this point, just wrap him in bubble wrap. Let him sit off to the sidelines till October because that's when we truly need him. And do that. Dodgers' Freddie Freeman was also hit by a pitch on Sunday's game, has a fractured finger, but has continued to play through it, avoiding an IL stint. What a warrior, but just tough signs for this Dodgers team. But they're not the only ones that have had a absolutely furious plague of injuries unleashed on their team, as Atlanta will lose Austin Riley for the regular season as he's out 6 to 8 weeks with a right hand fracture. And the earliest we can see him is the NLDS, maybe the NLCS if things don't go right. But you lose Riley for the rest of the regular season. You lose Riley for a wild card series, and you might get him back for a division series. I hate to say it, but this Braves season is Jover, to say the least. Hunter Green went on the 15-day IL with elbow tendonitis as well. According to manager Dave Bell, the injury looks fine. There's no structural damage. But it's really heartbreaking to see because Green was one of those players from MLB's reviving baseball in inner cities that finally made the leagues. One of the big black stars in the league, a demographic they're looking to expand into. He's finally put it together, having a Cy Young caliber season, but it just hurts to see him on the IL. Hopefully he comes back better and stronger, but overall, I just want to see him back. And unfortunately, I did not have anything prepared for this, but it was announced yesterday that Joey Votto is retiring from baseball. And we have lost a true icon of the game here because, quite frankly, Joey Votto is what a modern day hitter should be. And he did it 10, 12 years ago. He earns his walks. He always chokes up on the bat. He's quick. He's not trying to hit power. He's just trying to pull the ball. He's just trying to get on base. He has won MVP in 2010 and again should have won in 2017, but Giancarlo Stanton hit 59 home runs, so that's a sexier number than Votto's 450 on base percentage. But he is a true icon of the game, a Reds legend. He trails only members of the Big Red Machine itself, that iconic team from the 70s, and all-time Reds franchise stuff, which is great company to keep. On top of that, too, he's just a quirky dude. We remember the Harry Potter TikTok. We remember the interview he gave in the full Mountie outfit, the Canadian legend he is. We remember weird stuff, like he's only popped out 8 times in his career. He's just a great, weird dude. The sport's going to miss him. I, for one, am glad I got to see him in my lifetime. Joey Votto, you're a legend. I'll see you in Cooperstown. Now, a lot of great close playoff series to watch next week, but the series I'm looking forward to, and the series I will be attending for Shohei Ohtani-related reasons, is Dodgers and Orioles next Tuesday through Thursday. The Orioles, we all know about the big names, Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Jackson Holliday. So I was trying to find a name that's been performing well, and that's a little under the radar. Unfortunately, a lot of the team is in a slump. So I went with Ramon Urias. In his last 7 games, he's hitting .368 with a 458 on base percentage thanks to 4 walks, 737 slug, good for an 1195 OPS, 2 home runs and 7 RBIs over that span as well. Forget the Dodgers. Again, you know about Shohei Ohtani. You know about Betts. You know about Freeman. You know about Teoscar Hernandez now because he's been fantastic on his deal. But what you don't know is Gavin Lux has went from Gavin Sucks to Gavin Fucks. Man, this dude has been on fire since the All-Star break. He's hitting .385 with a 429 on base percentage, good for a 1237 OPS over his last 7 games. 3 home runs, 4 RBIs. He is finally the prince that was promised all those years ago, a man we held on to for dear life when we needed the help in 2017, in 2018, in 2019. And he's finally hit that sky-high ceiling, being the number 2 overall prospect in 2020. It is beautiful to see. I am thankful because no one deserves it more than Gavin Lux. In Game 1 for the Orioles, TBD will be making the start, so we don't know who's starting for them, but they will be facing off against the much struggling and now, unfortunately, much maligned Walker Buehler, who is 1-4 with a 6.09 ERA, a 1.67 WHIP, only 35 strikeouts. He fixed what I was worried about in his last start. He kept the delivery very tight, but he does not have a good out pitch. He's really struggling with 2 strikes, and against a tough Baltimore lineup, I am not looking forward to seeing him be lit up like a Christmas tree. In Game 2, Corbin Burns, 12-5 with a 3.10 ERA, 1.1 WHIP, and 144 strikeouts. He's kind of fallen off from that Cy Young favorite he was. He's really lost a lot of ground to Struble, but he's still having a great season nonetheless. He faces off against Jack Flaherty, who's 9-5 with a 3.06 ERA, 101 WHIP, 157 strikeouts. It is the pitching matchup of the series. And in the finale, Albert Suarez and his impressive scoreless inning streak will go up against TBD for the Dodgers. Suarez, of course, is 6-4 with a 3.18 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, 78 strikeouts. Been on an absolute roll recently, and he's going to have his work cut out for him for sure. Well, let me know in the comments down below, what series are you looking forward to the most? What is your favorite Joey Votto memory? And what player do you hope does not get injured, because we've had too many of them this series? Once again, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to Playbook Sports, and don't forget on the way out, play ball.